Hey everyone, it's Fitz, publisher of GoPowercat.com. I hope you are doing well, and welcome to Deep Purple, a week of Deep Purple for good reason. I don't know if you can tell right now, but I'm on vacation. Now, I know I'm in my studio, but Becky and I are heading out on the road for a little vacation leading into Big 12 Media Days down in Dallas. We'll be in the southeastern part of the country for some sightseeing. So, as a result of that, we took advantage of the new schools coming into the Big 12 as we hit July 1 and decided to do a week of Deep Purples. It helps me get some work out of the way, and you get a preview of what's to come in the new Big 12. So what we're doing this week is I am speaking with a member, usually the publisher of the 24/7 staffs for BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF. It's going to be a fun week of coverage with Deep Purple. 10 to 15 minutes on these videos when we get the guests in, as I ask them about their sports teams and traditions and just have some fun questions that help you get to know them a little bit better. But I want to turn the tables to start this off and kind of give you a preview of what I'll be doing by addressing the questions in a pretty brief format of what I'll be asking them as we proceed through the week. And again, this hopefully will be running Monday through Friday of this holiday week. So I first open up every interview with asking them, what should fans know about the team of their school, the football team, to start the year. And of course, Kansas State is Big 12 defending champions. I feel like they'll be back in the Big 12 championship. They returned some really nice pieces. Particularly Will Howard at quarterback, the entire offensive line. I could go through a bunch of guys, but this team's going to be pretty good. And their big trap games are both on the road, going to Texas and Texas Tech, that I think will be the other two fun teams to watch this season in the Big 12. That might be the Big 12 championship. I've decided between those three. But the Big 12, someone always pops up and surprises you. Will it be one of the newcomers? I don't know if it is, but I know that K-State fans are excited to have both Houston and UCF coming in. Kind of wish they were going to a new destination, but that will come in future years. As for basketball at Kansas State, I think everyone recognizes what Jerome Tang did last season was pretty amazing. And I'm telling you, fans are absolutely fired up for Big 12 sports this season and how Kansas State might be competitive again at a national level. And basketball certainly holds that as Jerome Tang is continuing to build his roster for the next season. Another sport that fans should know about, this is a little bit more difficult for K-State because they don't have, one of those sports where they kind of jump out and compete at a national level. But I guess I would answer, if you're just flipping around ESPN Plus, it'd be K-State volleyball, maybe, as they open a new arena, an arena committed just to volleyball with a new coach and a rebuilt roster. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know if some of you will be, but I'm an old volleyball guy. Excitement level for the new programs coming into the Big 12 I think it's pretty high because I think fans have a sense that there's a permanence here with these 12. When they get together, they're going to be somewhat bonded. I can think of one exception, but for the most part, this conference is going to be in it together, which I don't think was ever the sense when you're in a conference with Texas. And I think it's going to be a fun year as they say goodbye, as everyone else says goodbye in their very polite ways to Texas and Oklahoma. But I think this conference after that, 12, 16, whatever it is, there's going to be a real sense of unity that has been lacking. Realistic opportunities, I'll ask them about their expectations for entering the Big 12. And of course, I am very intrigued by all of those schools, how their football programs and basketball programs in particular will fit into the conference when you got to go through the grind, when you got to do it every night, you got to play a Big 12 team. So it's going to be really challenging. I think particularly, I guess Houston basketball jumps out at me. I think they might win the Big 12. They're that good, but boy, that grind in the Big 12 is going to be totally different than the American. So we'll see if they can survive that. Is there a rivalry cooking with any of these schools with Kansas State? I don't see it right now. I personally kind of have a feeling about Cincinnati, but that's just because that was, a huge road game I covered earlier in my career in 1995 when K-State won on the last play at Nippert. But boy, I don't really see it. I think Houston will have the Texas teams. I think BYU and Baylor are already kind of leaning into it. Cincinnati and West Virginia will be it. And I don't know who's going to end up with UCF, but I have a feeling, just a strange feeling, it's going to be Oklahoma State. I don't know why, but I'm just going to go with that. What Big 12 road trip would you most like to take and why? And this is really, kind of selfish of me. I'm going to answer this as me, and this. Look, I love going to Orlando, but it's a big city. Houston's a big city. Cincinnati, I'm kind of eager for, but it's got to be the mountains of Utah. Utah's a beautiful state. K-State does not play BYU this year in football at home or away, so that's going to have to wait. But Salt Lake City is one of the prettiest and nicest towns you'll ever see in the U.S. And getting over to Provo and some of those other places is going to be a lot of fun. I'm fired up for these road trips. It's going to be good to go some new places. Maybe selfishly, that's why I'm so into Big 12 expansion and seeing where they can go because, it just opens up my personal opportunities to go other places as I continue to cover games in the same cities year after year. It starts to feel like work. It's just kind of weird. There's school tradition everyone needs to know about. Of course, at K-State, it's the Wabash Cannonball when the fans go crazy and the students are pumping their arms and moving to the music. I think Tech plays the Wabash Cannonball, but it's a much slower version. The K-State version is the way to go. It is a unique thing to see, and it has evolved greatly over the years, and it's rooted in, if you watch the bands, the tuba players are bobbing, and that is something that's been around a long time, and eventually the students replicate it. Now they pump their arms, and they used to say something about their rival with a dirty word, and now they say KSU thanks to Jerome Tang. So, and finally, one place in Manhattan, Kansas, where people should go. You know what? I've got some sponsors, so this gets sticky. So Long Saloon, Taco Lucha, great. If you need your alcohol, the fridge wholesale liquor, if you come to town. But I'm going to tip my cap to a non-sponsor, someone that I've never even approached about advertising because it's a cool Manhattan thing. Actually, I'm going to do two. Neither one of them have ever sponsored. One takes you to Aggieville, and that's Varsity Donuts. It's a place that is absolutely historic building, and it's an amazing place and incredible donuts. And of course, if you go downtown where a lot of hotels are, you want breakfast. If you're looking for an incredible breakfast, get in line at the Chef Cafe. You're going to wait, but it'll be worth it. Those are the questions I'm going to be asking all week of the new publishers and writers that are coming into the conference. And of course, next week, in the middle of the week, will be Big 12 Media Days down in Arlington. I keep saying Dallas. It's all one thing to me being a Kansan. But I am fired up. Zach Carlson, myself, Ryan Gilbert, Cole Carmody, four of us will be down there. They'll be doing the work. I'll be shaking the hands and talking to a lot of the guys, including some of the people that I'm talking to this week on Deep Purple all week long. And by the way, this doesn't mean there won't be a daily delivery in here. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Maybe I'll bring that up at some point.